Wrap, rename, wait.
Labels.
What else?
How to create password for a dataset.
Okay.
Modify.
What else we have done? Okay.
Delete.
Delete. Okay, delete password. What else we have seen?
How to execute
Sir,
a saved program.
we just started logical error topic.
So when we have a logical error, what information we can find in the log window? Remember?
Yes, sir. N
No
to 1.
Underscore n underscore error underscore. Remember?
Yes, sir.
If you do not want to display that information,
We have to write
No
no list.
No list option. No list.
what about replace is equal to? What is that? What is replace is equal to?
By default, it is to override the dataset.
By default, what will happen?
Yes, replace is equal to yes.
What does it mean? By default, replace is equal to S. What does it mean?
Replace the old data.
Will be replaced.
The old data set will be replaced with the new data set.
When it will get replaced?
If the previous data set has a similar name,
Very good. When you have given the same name, so if you have already a data set with the same name, by default the data will be get replaced. If you do not want to replace that one, what is the option you have to mention?
Replace.
Replace is equal to?
No.
No.
So then what is PGM is equal to?
Program.
We will create a program code.
Save the data.
Program
We can use after 6 or 7 months.
Instead of creating a data set, if you want to save a program, what is the option you should write?
PGM.
PGM is equal to
data forward slash PGM is equal to name. How we can execute that program again?
Data PGM equal to data set name, execute
Execute
semicolon, run semicolon.
But if you want to see the code in the log window,
Describe.
describe. Very good. So these are the things we have seen in the last class, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
No. The next option that I have is view is equal to. What this view is equal to? View is equal to creates a SAS view. By the way, you guys are attending SQL classes, right? You have completed SQL classes?
No, it's still going on.
Still going on. So did you guys have discussed that view is equal to option there?
Not
No, sir.
No?
No.
Okay. So where you guys are right now in ProcSQL? In SQL.
DML, sir.
What is DML?
Data
Manipulation language.
So what do you mean by manipulation?
to
Modify.
page.
What do you mean by modification?
To insert the value, to update or to delete or to merge the data.
Update the value or update the variable? Update the column.
Update the variable.
Set the record.
To create or manipulate the data.
Value.
Okay. That's good. Okay. So view is equal to option creates a SAS view file. Okay. Now I want to create a SAS view file. Now data. First of all, I want to create a view file for the text file. When I'm creating a data set from the text file, I want to create a view file at one. So here I have a SAS folder. In that I have SAS data folder. In that SAS data folder, here I have a demo one text file. You know how to create a data set from this, right? shift, right click, copy as path. Now go to the program. I am writing like data set name, semicolon, in file, path of the text file, semicolon, input, emp ID, name dollar symbol, is $6 symbol, salary, location dollar symbol, semicolon, run. Tell me, if I execute this program, what will happen? What will happen if I execute this program?
Dataset EMP will be created.
Create. Now, I do not want to create a data set. I want to create a view. Okay. Now, if you want to create a view, what we should do? Now we should data set name /. Now we should write an option called view is equal to. When you're writing a view is equal to, you should write exactly the same name what I have given for the data set. So that means view is also what should I write now? I should write only EMP. I cannot write some other name. You should write only the data set name. Now, if I select the program, execute the program. Now, this is called SAS view file. Can you find the difference between the data set and the view in appearance?
Yes,
You
sir.
will not have this yellow color wheel symbol in the data set, but in the view file, you will find that yellow color wheel. Now, what is this view? How this is different from a data set? Okay. The major difference between a data set is in SAS data set, what we are going to have in the data set, we can find variable information. And all variable that we have, we are going to have that variable information, and we are also going to have the data. So in a SAS data set, we will have both variable information plus data. So this is what we can have in a data set. Okay, but we come with a view file, a SAS view file. Okay, in the SAS view file, we are going to have variable information. Okay, but there will be no data. You will not have any data in it. But we are going to have information required or necessary to open the data set. So a SAS view file is going to have just a variable information, but it will not have any data. But it will have the necessary information that you require to open the data set. Understand this one? Now I'll tell you one thing. Just imagine in a simpler manner, in a general manner, you are a table. Okay, just imagine you are a table. In our brain, you have a lot of information. Okay, now I'm asking a question. Okay, and the question is, what is your name? Okay, when I ask the question, what you will do? You will, if you have an answer, you are going to tell me the answer. So just imagine you are a table. Whatever the question that I am asking, this is called a query. What is this? This is a query. In a view file, we are going to have just a query. So that means in the view file, just we are going to have a question. When I ask the question, when I throw a question at you, if you have answer, you are going to give me the result. And that means when you are going to give me the query result. If I ask you the query, you are going to give me the query result. Understand this one? So if you keep a query in a nicely wrapped packet, a nicely wrapped package, or a cover, or a box, and that box is called as a view file. A view is going to have just a query. When you ask the query to a table, if the table has got answer, and that answer we are going to get as a query result. So since just as a query, you will not have any data in it. But if when you execute this query, automatically what it will do, it will throw you answer. Understand what I'm saying?
So
that means this EMP, what is this EMP in the work library? This is not a data set, it is in a view file. Okay, in this view file, you will not have the data. But if I click on this view file, you know what will happen? It will go and open the source data which is present in the demo1.txt file. By default, you will not have the data in a view. Just a view is dummy, just in a query. But when I click on this view, it goes and opens the source table for which you have created this view. I know that still is confusing. I will tell you one more example. I have a habit of reading novels, reading books. Every day I read 5 to 10 pages. In my laptop, I have those soft copies, PDF. I have in this PC, folder. Okay, I have E drive. In the E drive, I have books folder. In the books folder, I have one more folder called must reads. Must read. In that must read, right now I'm into Indian novels. This folder. In the Indian novels, we have Mahabharat. Read that Mahabharat. In that Mahabharata, right now I'm reading this Mahabharata by Mohan Ganguly. So Mohan Ganguly is a very good writer, and he has got so many books on Mahabharata. Right now, this is the book I'm reading. So I'm reading this Devadatta Jaya or something. This is the PDF copy I'm reading. Now, if you want to read this one, I should open this one. Now I will read, so how many pages that I want to read, I'm interested in today. I'm going to read those pages. Now tell me, if I want to read this book, what should I do every time? I should go to on my desktop. Here I have this PC folder icon. I should click on that one. Now I should go to E drive. In the E drive, I should go to books. In that books, I should go to must read. In that must read, I should go to Indian novels. In the Indian novels, I should go to Mahabharata folder. In that Mahabharata folder, I should go to Mohan Ganguly. And here, this is the book right now I'm reading. Can you see how many folders how many folders I should access?
7.
These
Sir.
many, I need to access 7 folders to go to the location to open the PDF file. Okay, so this is a very hectic, lengthy, time taking. So what I can do, I want to create a shortcut on my desktop. So now this is the folder. I want to create a shortcut for this folder. Now see what I'm going to do. I'm giving a right click and I'm going to the send to. And now here we have an option called desktop create a shortcut. Now if I click on this one on my desktop, now can you see here I have a shortcut folder. Do you think in this folder we have data in the desktop? Do you have all the books in this file, in this folder on my desktop? No. It is just a desktop, it is just a shortcut. But when I click on this shortcut, what it will do? It goes to that location and it will open the source folder. Now, can you see when I open the shortcut, how many folders it has been opened? It is showing all the 7 folders. So directly, it will take you to the source location. So do you think we have the data in the shortcut? No, it's just a dummy. So, but when I click on this dummy, what it will do, it will directly take you to the source location and it will open the source file, the source folder. In the same way, when you create a view file will not have the data. But when you click on this view file, what it will do, it will have enough information to open the source table. Understand this one? So now if I click on this view file, what it will do, it will not have any, just a dummy, it is just empty, but it will have a necessary information. When you click on this view, it directly goes and opens the source file, which is nothing but demo1.txt. It will show the information present in the text file. But if we create a data set not like that one. A data set itself is going to have a data. Now, say for example, if I write a data, data ds1 semicolon, now what will happen? Now it will create a data set. What do you mean by data set? A data set is going to have both variable information and the data also. So whenever you click on the open this table data set, it will show the data which is present in the data set. Understand this one?
So can you click on that EMP?
Yes, you can click on, but what it will do, it will goes and opens a source table. Whatever the information that we have in the source table, it will show that information to you. Understand this one? Now I'll give you one more example.
No?
But it will not have any data. Say empty. I will tell you one more example. In the real time, from where you get the data, what is the major source of the data? Why we are learning SQL? Do you know why we are learning SQL?
To get data from
Get the data from
DBS.
database.
To get the data from the database, to read the data, to access the data, isn't it? That means in the real time, where we can find the data, we can find the data in the database. Just imagine it is in some corporate bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank server. When you do transaction online, previously 5-10 years back, we used to do transaction only from morning 10 to evening 5 o'clock. Because if you want to do any transaction, you should go to that bank, and from there only you can do the transaction. But now it is not the case, isn't it? We can do 24/7 transactions. We can do online transfers. You can do online shopping. You can swipe your card at any part of the day, any time of the day. Now we do 24-hour transactions, isn't it? No, whenever you do any transaction, say for example today morning, you did a Google Pay, UPI payment for for your breakfast at a restaurant. Whenever you do the transaction, automatically whatever the transaction that you have done, that transaction information will be saved in your account in the database. And again today afternoon, for lunch, again you did some transaction. You did you order something on Google, or like in Swiggy or Zomato. Again, when you do the transaction, again that information will be saved again in the database as one record. Again, in the evening, for the snacks, again you did some UPI transaction. Again, that information will be get saved in the database as one more record. And you did some online shopping. And when you did online shopping, again, that information, that whatever the transaction you swipe with the credit card, that information is going to get saved in your account in the database. So whenever you do the transaction online nowadays, immediately that information, that record, what is the transaction, how much amount that you paid, to whom you have paid, what time of the day, all that information will be get saved in the database. So that means we are pumping the data 24/7 into the bank database. It's a continuous process. Every time, every second, the data is going to get updated in the database. Now, what I did yesterday at 5 p.m. Yesterday at 5 p.m., I connected to the database. I connected to this database, and just imagine at 5 p.m., I created a SAS dataset. At the same time, I created one more thing, and this time I created a SAS view file. Okay. Now, if I open this SAS dataset today at say for example 4 p.m., what will happen when you open the SAS dataset? When did we create this dataset?
Yesterday.
Yesterday 5 p.m. By 5 p.m., whatever the data that we have in that database table, that information will be get captured into this dataset. If you open this today at 4 p.m., it will show the same information that when you have created whatever the information that we got downloaded, that we get captured into the dataset, it will show the same information. If you open after 10 days, or if you open after 1 month, or if you open after 1 year, it will show you the same information, because when you create a data set, by the time whatever the data that we have in that database table, only that information is going to get captured. That's it. But yesterday 5 p.m., I also created a SAS view file. And I'm telling you, SAS view file is just a dummy. It will have only the variable information, but it will not have any data. But it will have the necessary information. That means it is going to have the query in it. When you click on that query, the query will be get executed. It will get the data from the source table in the database. That means a SAS query is a recorded question. When you execute that record, when you play that record, whatever that question that we have in the recorded tape, according to that, you will get the data from the table. So since we do not have any data in the view file, what it will do, it goes and opens the source table for which you have created this view file. That means if you open today at 4 p.m., the same view file, okay, What it will do, since it doesn't have the data, what it will do, it goes and opens the source table. So if you open the source table by this 4 p.m., whatever the data that has been updated, it will show that data as well. Understand this one? If I open maybe after 10 days, what will happen? By this time, whatever the new data it has updated, you can find that information also. That means now whenever you click on the view file, by the time, whatever the data that we have in the database table, it will show that data. Because a view is a dummy, it will not have any data. It is going to have only just variable information. It's just going to have a query. When you click on the query, it goes and the query will be get executed, and based on that, you will get the query result from the table. Understand this one?
Hello.
Everybody? Understand this one?
क्या?
Yes, sir.
ये सब भी करना है किसी और से कर लो भाई, मेरे पे ऐसा मत करो.
So can you repeat this again, sir?
So a query will not have any data. So a query just, a view just is going to have a query. When you click on the query, it goes and opens the source table according to the query result, and it will return the query result. Understand what I'm saying? Now that is what I'm saying. Say for example, just imagine you are a table. You're going to have so much of information in you, right? Now what is a view? If I ask you, what is your name? And this, whatever the query, if I keep the query in a nicely wrapped packet, and this is called a view. If I click on this view, what it will do, it will not have by its own, it will not have any data. It will not have any answer. When I click on this view, what it will do? It will go and execute the table. From the table, it will get the query result and it will send you the result. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
So a query, a view is going to have just a dummy SAS file, a dummy file. It will not have any data. What it is going to have? It is going to have variable information, and then it is going to have necessary information that is required to open the source table. Clear, everybody? Now, how to create a SAS view file? Dataset name / view is equal to what we should write? The same name that what we have given for the dataset. Now, what is the difference between a dataset and a view file? What is the difference between a dataset and a view file? So dataset is going to have both data plus variable information.
Variable information.
But what is the view file is going to have? It will not have any data, but it will have, what it will have? It will have variable information. It will have variable information. And the second important point is, I told you, if you create a dataset yesterday 5 p.m., if you open it today or tomorrow after 10 days, what information we are going to have? The same information that when did you create this one? By the time, whatever the data that you collected into this one, we are going to have the same information. But a view file is not like that one. Whenever you click, what it will do? It will go and open the source table. So that's why we can say a dataset is always static, but a view file is always dynamic. That means that dynamically, you can see the new data, updated data. Whenever you click on the view file, it will show you that the new information. Understand this one? And a dataset is always going to have old information, because whenever you have created, by the time whatever the data we have, it can show you the same data. But a view is not like that one. Whenever you open the view file, by the time whatever the data that we have, it will show that data. Understand? So that means how we can say a view file is always going to have latest information, current information, current data. But a view file is going to have only the old data. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
And a dataset is going to have a data. So whenever we want to, we can read the data and we can also modify the data. But what about the view file? A view file will not have any data. So we are going to have only read-only permission. You will not have any writing permission. You cannot modify the data in the view. So if you want to modify data, where we can modify the data? We can modify the data only in the source table. Isn't it? Because where we have the data is present in a database where we can do that one. Understand this one? And we can create a data set on a tape. What do you mean by on a tape? That means you can create a data set on a hard disk, external hard disk, so that you can transfer the data set. But a view file, we can't do that on a tape. We can't create on a tape. So that means, so what does it mean? Say, for example, just imagine, you have a laptop, and to that laptop, you have an Oracle database, and you connected to the Oracle database, and you created a view file. And just imagine, by the same time, you also created a data set. How I created? I created a folder, and I have assigned a library to that folder. Now I saved both data sets and a view file into that folder, into that library. So if I save in the library, that means automatically where the data sets and view files will be get saved in that folder. Now I copied that folder into a pen drive, and I have given the folder to you. And now you have connected this, pen drive to your laptop, and you try to open. You copied that view file into your system. You try to open this view file. So either view file is going to have the data. A view file will not have the data, right?
Yes, sir.
But when you click on the view file, what it should do? It should go and open the source table. For my laptop, I have an Oracle database connection. So whenever I click on the view file, it goes to the database. It will open the Oracle database and it will show the data. But you do not have the database connection. When you do not have a database connection, when you copy this view file into your system, when you click on this view, will it show any data? No, because you do not have a database connection. So whatever the view file that you copied is going to be useless, isn't it? Because by default, it will not have any data. But if it is a data set, so a data set itself is going to have a data. So you can copy into a folder, and you can exchange into another system. You can give it to me, and I can copy the data set. I can use the data set in my system also, because the data set itself is going to have both the data and the variable information. Understand what I'm saying? So that's why we can create a data set on a tape, and we can transfer the tape. Understand what I'm saying? And we cannot create a view file. Of course, you can create, but it's going to be useless because you may not have the database connection. So it is going to be useless, even though you transfer that dummy view file from one source system to another system. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And the next point is we can come. Pardon? Come again.
Can you repeat the
Yes,
last one, sir?
Say, for example, if I copy this dummy shortcut, I have a shortcut. Can you see on my desktop? Mahabharat shortcut. If I copy this shortcut onto a pen drive, if I give this shortcut to you, can you open those books in our system?
No, sir.
No, because it's just a dummy shortcut. A view is also like that one. But if I give this PDF file to you, can you open this PDF file in our system? Yes, you can do, because
Yes,
it is
sir.
an original PDF file. It is going to have information in it, but a dummy shortcut will not have. When this dummy shortcut also will be get opened in our system, if you copy the source table also, then this will be get opened. Since you do not have the source folder for this dummy, it will not be get opened in our system. So copying this one, transferring into your system is going to be useless if it is a dummy shortcut, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that is the difference between a data set and a view file. And the next point is,
Thank you, sir.
we can compress a data set. Since we have a data in a data set, we can compress the data set, but we can't compress a view file. But since we do not have any data, it is going to be no point, compressing a view file. And we can audit the data set. That means if you make any changes and we can notice the changes. We can find that changing information in the log window, so we can audit a data set. But since we do not have any data, we can't do any changes here. If you can see, you can do all the changes only in the database. So we can't audit a view file. Understand this one?
So for view file,
Say for example, if you do any changes, since we have a data in itself, the data set, we can write a program for the changes. You can find the changes in the data set, and we can find the proof for the changes in the log window, because what and all the program I'm executing, I will get all that information in the log window. So whenever you want to, you can audit that one. We can validate it. But since if you want to make any changes in the data in a table, where we make changes in the table itself, we can't do it here, right? So we cannot audit a view file. Clear, everybody? So these are some of the major differences that we have between a data set and a view file. Clear, everybody? In clinical domain, we don't use much view files because we don't require that much of latest data. But in the banking domain and finance, they use a lot of view files because they always wants to work with the latest data, because the manager will ask you, submit the report that whatever the data that we have at today 6 p.m. But in clinical domain, we are going to have certain time points. So we collect the data to the time point. So we do analysis on the data on that particular time point. So you don't require that much of latest data. So that's why we never use a view file in the clinical domain. But in the banking and finance, they use a view files a lot. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. But if we've written any error in our code and created view file, after that, how we won't get any data, right?
You won't get any data. Again, you'll get that information in the log window based on that, because if you throw a query, if the query is not meaningful, if you do not have that information, whatever the query that you have written, so you will not get any query result.
Okay.
I think you guys know what is a query, right? A query is nothing but what? An interrogative question. And by the way, how you guys are writing a query? What statement you guys are using? Select statement, right? So what are the clauses that you are going to have in the select statement?
Star.
Select from class, where class, then group by, then having class, then order by class.
Still we are in from only, sir.
Okay.
From and where are done.
Okay. So these are the clauses that we are going to use to write a query. So the mandatory clauses are select and from. Depends upon a requirement, we are going to write other queries, other clauses. So by using these clauses, we build a query. A query nothing but an interrogative question. Clear, everyone? So I think still you are in a DDL, DML stage only, and you will come to know about that later. What is in a query, how we can edit a query, how we can edit a subquery. You can see how to create a view file. You'll see all that. How we are creating a table from an existing data set in SQL. So in SQL, you have a EMP data set, no? How to create a new data set from EMP?
Select star from EMP.
That will only give you print. Create table.
Table.
Table name as select star from class. Here, if we say, for example, I'm using a class. There you have a EMP data set, a very common data set that you are going to use for demonstration for practice. No, simple. Create a table name as select star from existing data set. This has to then equal to simple data class set class equal. Isn't it? In the
Yes, sir.
same way, if you want to create a view file, this is how we are going to create in SQL. Create view name. I want to have, create view name, and as select start from class. Now, what will happen now? It will create a view file. In a view file, create చెప్పండి data class / view is equal to class 1. Set from where I want to create
Run.
Now, if I execute the program, in the work library, can you see what I'm getting here? Class 1. What is this, data set or a view?
Views. View.
If I open this one, it will show the data, but by default, this view will not have the data. What it will do, this class 1, it goes to the SAS help library and it will open the class data set, because I created this view file for whom? For whom I have created this one? I have created this one for SAS help. So when I click on the class 1, it goes and opens the SAS help library's class data set. So if you want to make any changes, you cannot make changes in the class 1. Where we need to make changes? We need to make changes in the SAS help library class data set. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Time in 50 minutes. Clear? Can I go to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do not worry. If we will come again to the proc SQL in advanced SAS, and there we'll discuss view files a lot again. Okay. And by the way, learn SQL properly so that I no need to take classes again in advanced SAS. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, again, on my desktop, I have SAS folder. In that, I have a SAS data folder. Here we have a demo1 text file. Shift, right click, copy as path. Now I'm writing a program. I'm writing, data, emp semicolon, in file, path of the text file semicolon, input. I'm writing emp id, name $symbol, age, sex $symbol, salary, location $symbol, semicolon, run. If I execute this program, tell me what will happen. It will create a data set called
EMP.
Now tell me, if I write like this one, what will happen?
Employee data set will be created.
It will create a data set called employee. But unfortunately, when I'm writing the program like this one, I didn't check this one. Between the EMP and LOYE, I got a space. What will happen if I execute this program?
2 data sets will be created, I think.
Now, if I execute,
Sir, it will not execute, sir.
it will not get executed.
Like
Error will
errors, like error it will come.
Today, so somebody said 2 days also will be get created. We'll see what is going to happen. If I give a space
In
within
log,
a data set name.
Maybe first only
in log window there will be
Periods in
Okay. Now, if I execute this program, now can you see what happened now?
2 created.
It created 2 data sets. And of course, both the data sets are going to have the same data. That means, what did you understand from this one? You can create multiple data sets in one data statement.
Yes.
So for example, this time I'm writing, EMP1 space EMP2 space EMP3 space EMP4. You know what will happen now?
4 data set will be created.
It will create 4 data sets, but all the 4 data sets are going to have the same data.
Same data.
So that means in the data statement, we can write the multiple names. With each name, it will create one data set. So that means we can create multiple data sets in one statement.
Sir,
Okay.
for example, if
Can we
we
use replace also, sir?
give
For
any
multiple
gap in
data sets?
rename option, there also it will be like that, or it gives errors.
You'll get an error. You'll get an error.
Sir, can we use replace, sir, for this all data set at a time?
Why you want to replace? For what purpose you want to replace?
I'm asking a doubt, sir. If it will be execute or some.
We'll see that one.
Okay.
Now tell me, I'm writing emp1 space emp2. If I execute this program, then what will happen?
Two data sets will be created.
It will create two datasets called emp1 and
EMP2.
emp2. Then what is the point of creating two datasets with the same data? Isn't it? Now, you only tell me. Now, in the emp1, otherwise I will do one thing. First of all, here I'm creating a dataset called emp. Tell me, if I execute this program, what I will get? I will get a dataset called emp. How many variables we are going to have in the emp dataset?
6.
6 variables. And you will get 23 observations because in that input, whatever the demo1 text file that we have, there we have 23 records. So those 23 records are coming as a 23 observations, and we have 6 variables. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is, now I'm writing data emp1 space emp2 semicolon set emp semicolon run. You know what will happen now? From the emp dataset, it will create two datasets called emp1, emp2. But what we are going to have in both emp1 and emp2?
Same data that contains.
Same data.
Same data that what we have in the emp. But I do not want to have the same data in the emp1. I want to have emp ID and I want to have a salary. In the emp2, I want to have emp ID and I want to have a location. So that means I want to have two datasets with different variables. Now what we should do, data, first dataset name emp1, open the parenthesis. If you want to have variables, what is the option you should write now?
Keep.
Keep option. Now I'm writing keep is equal to what variables I want to have in the emp1? I want to have emp ID and then salary, close the parenthesis. If I execute the program, what variables I'm going to have in the emp1?
Employee ID and salary.
What about the emp2?
Same.
emp2 is going to have all the data of
EMP data.
But in the emp2 also, I want to have emp ID and location. Then what should I do?
Open the parenthesis and keep.
Open the parenthesis. Again, I'm writing keep is equal to emp ID and I'm writing LOC, close the parenthesis. Now, if I execute the program, we are going to have emp1. There we are going to have emp ID and sal. And emp2, we are going to have emp ID and location. So that means we can create multiple data sets. We can have different data.
Sure.
Now, tell me, I want to create emp3, emp4, but I want to create both from emp. Just imagine, in the emp3, I want to have all the variables of emp, but I do not want to have a location. In the emp4, I want to have all the variables, but I do not want to have sex variable. Then what we will do?
Drop.
emp3, open the parenthesis, drop is equal to LOC, close the
Drop
parenthesis.
equal to 6.
emp4, open the parenthesis, drop is equal to close the parenthesis.
Close the parenthesis.
Very good. Now, if I execute the program, in the emp3, I will get all the variables except location.
Location.
In emp4, I will get all the variables except sex variable.
Thanks.
Now, think logically. Now, I want to create two data sets, okay? First data set, I want to have, female employees. Female EMP. And I want to have one more data set, male EMP. So I want to have all the female employees into first data set. I want to have all the male employees into second data set. What you will do?
Where?
So open the parenthesis.
Open the parenthesis.
Equal to.
Keep is
Where is
equal
equal to?
Open the
Parenthesis,
Open
sex
the
is
parenthesis.
Is equal to female.
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 double
Close the
parenthesis.
parenthesis.
female is in capitals or small, sir, in data.
Yes, that we have.
To tell. You should tell females are small letters or uppercase letters.
Small case, small letters.
So what we should do?
Lowercase. Small.
We should write. Why we should write only small letters?
Because it is
Data is
Data
case.
Data is case sensitive.
And one more thing,
Quotation.
you can get the correct data.
Single
You should
quotes.
always write within a single or double quotation. Again, tell me what should I do for the male EMP?
Where
Where
equal
is
to
it?
Where is equal
Open the parenthesis.
equal to male.
to male.
X is equal to
Male
male
male.
within the quotations. So now, if I execute the program in female EMP, we are going to have only female employees information. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
And the male EMP, we are going to have only male employees information. So in the real time, we create a lot of multiple data sets in one program. Now, data, I want to create a DS11, DS12, DS13, DS14, DS15, DS16. I want to create all these data sets from SAS.class. Okay. In the DS11, I want to have only age 11 students. In the DS12, I want to have age 12 students. In DS13, age 13, age 14, age 15, and age 16. So tell me what you will do.
Where equal to
Where is equal to?
open the parenthesis.
Parenthesis
Age equal
is
to
Open the parenthesis.
age equal to
No. DS11, open the parenthesis. Where is equal to?
age
Open the bracket.
Age is
Age is
equal to?
equal to 11.
11. Close it to. Understand? This entire thing is only one statement. You should not write semicolon, okay? But for easiness, I'm writing the second S in the next line. Again, what should it after the DS12? Open the
Where
parenthesis.
equal to age.
It is equal to. Open the parenthesis. It is equal to 12. Close it to. Again, DS13. Now, again you should write where is equal to open the parenthesis.
Age is equal to 13, close the bracket.
Close it 2 times. Okay, and again
Yes,
go to
14.
DS14. So again, where is equal to?
Age
And the parenthesis age is equal to 14. Close it 2 times.
Close it twice.
DS15. Again, open the parenthesis. Where is equal to? Age is equal to 15.
Close the parenthesis twice.
And the last one, again, where is equal to? Age is equal to 16.
Close the parenthesis twice.
And finally, should keep a semicolon. Now select the program and execute the program. Now can you see we have 6 data sets. In the DS11, we have students only with age 12, age 11. In the DS12, we are going to have only age 12 students. We have 5 members. We got all the 5 members. This is how we are going to filter the data. This is how we are going to select variables or observations into multiple data sets. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody has got any doubts so far?
Sir, can we create these options for in-stream data also, sir?
For anything, that is also data statement, right?
Yes.
Yes, we can do that.
Thank
you.
Separately DS1 and DS11, DS12, we can put a label also, sir.
If you want to apply the label password or something, right, then you write within this parenthesis.
Oh, okay, sir.
So label is equal to, now label is equal to what you can, whatever the label. So only age 11 students report. This is my label I want to have. Okay, for the DS12, I want to have a different label. So where we should write that one? Now within this parenthesis. But I want to have age 12. Okay. So this way you can apply label for each and every data set.
Sir,
Yes.
the label statement has to follow the respective data set name, sir.
No, it depends on client requirement.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you should follow certain rules. So whatever that they think that suitable for them, they will tell.
Okay.
Can you see? For 16, we have a label like this one. Only age 16 students report. In the same way, for 13, here we have age 13, only age 13 students report. Like that one. And you can apply the password. You can apply keep is equal to, drop is equal to, whatever rename is equal to, whatever things you want to apply for individual access, we can do that. Clear, everybody? So for example, for DS2, if I write a serenity.ds12, for the DS13, if I write, say, for example, mylib dot, DS13. If I said for DS14, if I say stances dot DS14, what will happen now?
It
Creates
will create
different data sets.
Creating different libraries.
Libraries.
Data set names.
DS11 will be get saved in the work library,
library.
and DS12 will be string library, DS13 will be mylib library, DS14 will be stances. Again, DS15 and 16 will be get saved again in work
Work
library.
library.
Like that.
Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is about data statement. Now, this is the end of the data statement. Tomorrow's class, I told you from this topic onwards, we are going to have any tasks. In tomorrow's class, I will show you how to do the tasks, and you have to start doing the tasks from tomorrow. Okay? And before that, we'll see what we have in our notes, how to practice. So the second topic is good data statement. Data step. In the data step, we have discussed data statement. This is how we are going to have our notes. Can you see? In the starting class, I told you what is a data step, what is the purpose of data step. And then I told you a typical data step will have a data statement, in-file statement, input, data lines, and the run statement. And then we started with the data statement. I told you data statement is the first statement in a data step. We specify the data statement to give data set a name. And then I told you, depends on a requirement, we use different options in the data statement options. Those are called data statement or data set options. What and all the options we have seen? We have seen keep option. We have seen drop option. And we have seen rename option. And we have seen where option. And then we have seen replace is equal to, by default, I told you yes. So if you do not want to replace it, I told you you should write the replace is equal to no. And then password is equal to, and then label is equal to option. And if you do not want to display the errors in the log window, no list option. Debug option I didn't discuss, we'll discuss that one later. And we discussed PGM is equal to option. And then we discussed, view is equal to option. And then we have the differences between dataset and a view file. Please go through the differences. And I didn't discuss about in because you don't know yet. We'll discuss about this one later. I'm not going to leave anything, but sooner or later, I will discuss all the topics. Now, in today's class, we have seen how to create multiple data sets in one data step. Clear, everybody?
Sir, I have a doubt that in normal general CSV and Excel files, we use get names equal to S and data row equal to 2 and 1.
So that is a default.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, if you would like to add this commenting and non-comment, like uncommenting, so if we use get names equal to no and data row equal to 1, so in that cases, first row, it comes as a period symbol. Now, like if you would like to add this commenting and uncommenting option, like adding one more variable for that, for example, if EMP is there, so that salary amount, if you would like to make it a bonus, so in first line, it comes as a period symbol.
See, you cannot create a new variable in the proc step, okay? You can create only a new variable in data step.
Yes, sir. After doing that proc step, we will do again a data step in that we can create it now. So is it acceptable that the first line gets first row comes as a period symbol and then remaining?
Since you are saying get names is equal to no, now what SAS will do, it will read the data from the first line itself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why you're getting the dot symbol.
Yes, in general, we'll do like in real time that it will be like that or any like real time work, it is not there.
In Excel sheet or CSV file, just imagine you didn't have the variable names in the first row. Okay, you didn't get it. So in the scenario, what you will do, you will mention get names is equal to no. But if you have already variable names, so you have to get names is equal to yes.
Okay.
Okay, depends on the Excel sheet how we have.
Okay, sir.
Now we are going to have a null concept. You cannot understand it right now. I will explain this one null concept after maybe 1 week time. Now, and after this one, at the end of each and every topic, we are going to have an interview questions. Can you please explain me in our own words so that I can understand what you did understand in the last few classes? Can you tell me the first question, what is SAS program? Explain the components of a SAS program. A SAS program is a group of statements. And what is the statement? Each statement is an instruction to do some work. How many types of SAS programs we have? Programming steps that we have? 2 types, data step and prop step. Now the second question, what is data step? Explain each purpose of a data step with example. What is data step?
Data.
If you start your program with the keyword of data, then it is called data step. Okay, what is the purpose of data step? Data access, data management.
Retrieve data, create new data set, create new
variables and assign values to the variable,
to manipulate the data,
reshape the data, process the data, transform the data, generate reports.
Very good. And then what are the minimum statements that are required to write a data step?
data statement, infile statement,
input statement, data line statement, run statement.
Data, infile, input, data lines, and
run.
Fourth question, what is data statement?
to give the name of the data set.
Data step, the first statement of the data step. To specify data set name, we read the data statement. What is the syntax of data statement? Data set name,
Semicolon.
Then, what are the data statement options? Do you know?
Keep, drop, rename,
label, password, where, no list option,
PGM.
refresh is equal to no option, PGM, view, all these are data statement options. Now, seventh question, what is keep option, syntax and example? What is keep option?
It specifies variable names that we want
to have in the final data.
Very good. It specifies the variable name that you want to keep in the final data set. How to read the syntax?
data
Data name, then keep is equal to variable name.
Variable name separated by space and close the parenthesis. Eighth question, what is the drop option, syntax and example?
specifies the variable name that we want to exclude or drop in the final data.
Very good. If you want to exclude any values from your final data set, you should read the drop option. And you know the syntax, data set name, open the parenthesis, drop is equal to the variable.
Space.
Very good. Ninth question, what is the rename option, syntax and example?
If you want to rename the data variable name,
If you want to rename
the
variable
variable
names permanently, it renames variable names permanently. What is the syntax? Data set name, open the parenthesis.
Rename is equal to old name is equal to new name.
Rename is equal to, again you should open the parenthesis.
Yes.
Old name
And then old name is equal to new
new name.
Close the parenthesis.
2 times. What is the label option, syntax and example?
to name the data set.
If you want to give a descriptive name or alias name or a temporal name for a data set, we use label option. What is the length of the label you can write?
Less than or equal to 32 characters.
26 characters.
256 characters. And you can have embedded spaces, we can have a special characters also. Okay. Now 11th question, what is the difference between rename option and a label? And of course, you don't know the label statement yet. So please skip the 11th question. We'll see this label statement later. 12th question, difference between rename option and label option. Rename option will rename the variable name. Okay, but what is the label option?
It's a temporary name.
Label option will give the label for a data set.
Yes.
Okay, but rename is for variable.
Variable.
13th question, what is where option, syntax and example?
It's a
It is for the
condition
observations.
based on the conditions
To
provided.
select observations, we use where option. So it selects observations based on the condition. Now how to read the syntax? Data
Data set name.
open the parenthesis.
Where
Is
is
equal to
Open the
parenthesis, write the condition. But if you want at the multiple conditions, between the conditions, you should write depends on the requirement. You can write either and or. And the 14th question is PW option. To apply the password, we use PW is equal.
Password.
What is replace option? By default, replace is equal to ఏముంటుంది అనుకున్నామండి? By default, the replace is equal to yes.
Yes.
If you do not want to replace, write the replace is equal to no. You don't know about the 17th, 18th, 19th questions 8 and 2021 also you don't know 8. We'll discuss about that one later. Again,
Sir, in general,
to,
we use drop option for variables. Can we use that one for observations also?
No, observations you should, you
Where?
cannot use that one. If you do not want to have certain observation in future, we'll write a delete statement. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to have something, we use where. If you do not want to have something, we write delete.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see that one in future.
Sir,
Okay.
Yes.
can we get a PDF copy for these question answers?
PDF copy. I do not have PDF. I think they have given the hard copy, right, for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
At the end of each and every topic, you'll find this. You can find these questions.
We are asking for the answers, sir.
Answers. You should answer it, yeah. So by if you read all these questions, if you read my notes, definitely you can answer the questions. And you guys, at least you can get that answer, right? Even you may not get expressed in the starting classes. You know all the answers for these questions, right? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But phrasing the sentence will be difficult, so that we are asking for
that you will get only that you can get only by reading multiple times. Again and again, if you read it, see, knowing something is different, explain it to something to others is different. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you should be in a position to explain it to others. If you explain to others, you'll never forget about that one. So that you'll get only by reading multiple times. But because the phrasing and to that point answer, that accurate answers you'll get only by reading. If you practice, you'll get that point, or you'll get an idea. You know how it is getting executed. But you need to prepare to keep in mind of the interview, right?
Yes, sir.
So please read.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I hope you guys know the difference between dataset and view. 25th question.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you know the dataset difference between dataset is going to have both data and available information, but the view is going to have only available information.
Variable information without data.
That's the first answer. First definition you should tell. Then you can tell the other differences. Now, how to create a view file? 26th question. Dataset name /
view
is
is
equal
equal
to
to dataset name.
same name.
It should be
Now,
same as
27th question. Yeah, 27th question. Data is available in so-and-so location. Okay, please do all the tasks. So since it is going to be the first task session, tomorrow I will do the tasks from next topic onwards. I will do the task tomorrow, and you have to repeat those tasks. And from the next topic onwards, I will not do the task. You have to complete the task also. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody any has got any doubt? Okay then. So see you in tomorrow's class.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.